No, I want to see you.
Oh no, high five! High five! Oh! Oh, so strong! Alright, so today we're gonna learn some family. Some family. Our first one is sister.
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 You see good? Sister.
Sister.
Do you have a sister?
Yeah.
One sister.
One sister.
One
sister.
One sister.
Sister.
No.
No?
Sister.
Do you know you don't have a sister? Sister. We have mommy, daddy,
No.
sister? No? No?
Yeah.
Alright, maybe we'll go see later. Alright, this one is.
Ooh, brother.
Oh, so smart. Brother.
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 Let's look at it. Brother.
Brother.
Alright. Do you have a brother?
Yes.
One
Yeah.
brother.
One brother.
Oh, you know brother.
Yeah, brother.
Okay, brother. And our next one is.
Ooh.
Mommy.
Yes, mommy.
Mommy.
Mommy. Let's look at it. Mommy.
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 Do you have a mommy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Everybody has a mommy.
Everyone has.
Alright. Oh. Alright, our next one is.
Daddy.
No.
Oh.
Grandma.
Yes, grandma. Grandma.
Grandma.
Grandma.
Grandma.
Yes, grandma. Do you have one grandma?
Two grandma.
Two grandmas. We'll do it
Two
as
grandmas.
Yes, that's a little hard enough. Grandmas. Oh, and our last one.
Grandpa.
No.
Daddy.
Oh, yes, daddy.
Where's grandpa?
Daddy. No, grandpa's here.
Oh.
Grandpa's not here. Grandpa's not
Why?
here. Let's look at daddy.
Daddy.
I don't know.
Grandpa.
I don't know.
Grandma go on vacation.
Daddy.
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 Alright, so should we play a little game?
Yeah.
Activity? Alright, so do you know that acting game?
Ooh.
No? No? Alright, I'll go first.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
So do this one.
Mommy.
She is.
Mommy.
Can we do the whole thing?
She is mommy.
Yes, alright, how about this one?
Daddy.
He is daddy.
Oh, he is daddy.
You.
And should I do the rest? Does anyone else want to try, or should I finish?
I want to try.
You want to try one? Okay, come up here, Jason. Alright. Oh, you try. Oh, you want to choose?
No.
You want to choose? Do this one, or is this too hard?
Okay.
Brother.
Should I try
Brother.
Yeah, I guess.
Sister!
Who?
She is
Sister.
She is sister.
She is sister.
You're the sister.
I'm sister. I'm
Sister.
sister.
Alright.
Okay.
Who else wants to try? You too shy? Too shy? Just Jason likes to
I want to do one more.
Alright, come on. Alright.
Should be better, Jason.
Oh, sure. Is this one hard?
Grandma.
Who is she?
She is grandma.
Oh, yes. Is she grandma?
Yes.
Alright. Can you try one for me?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Alright. A hard one. I think
Yeah.
this one's hard.
Brother.
Yeah.
Who is he?
He is brother.
Yes. Alright. Will we get you to try?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. That. This one? No?
No.
No, too hard? Alright. Oh, this one.
Daddy.
Who is he?
He is Daddy.
Oh, good job. Good job. Oh, keep trying. There you go. Thank you. I know you're shy. And this one.
I see mommy.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one? That one's hard, right?
Give it a
Too hard?
Mommy, sister.
Who is she?
She is sister.
Oh, good job. Alright. I'll do a few more. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Alright.
Alright.
So.
Mommy.
Grandma.
Who is?
She
is Grandma.
Yes! Alright. Who else?
He is brother.
Yes! Alright.
She is sister.
Yes!
Yes.
Alright. And is anyone else want to try again?
No.
No? Alright, we could do. I was gonna do your other activity that you just did, so.
I'll just do it.
Okay, that's all the activities we do. So everybody stand up. Alright, let's go to the middle. Who wants to help me put these around the class? Alright, Jason, can you do grandma for us?
Anywhere?
Yeah, let's put grandma. Okay. Can you say it?
She is Grandma.
Oh, yes. Alright, who wants to put another one? What is this one?
He is daddy.
Alright, where are we going to put it? Oh, hi.
Ooh.
And who else? Want to put this one somewhere?
Sure.
And what is it?
Sister.
Can we say the whole thing? Who is she?
She is sister.
Oh, good job. And
Brother.
oh, who is he?
He is brother.
Oh, good job. Put that somewhere. And I'll put the last one. What is it?
Ooh, she is mommy.
Yeah, she is mommy.
She is mommy.
Alright, put it here. Alright, let's all go in the middle. So, can you find me brother?
I know.
Oh! Who is he?
He is brother.
Alright, and can you find me daddy?
What?
Daddy.
Oh, who is he?
He is Daddy.
Yes. And grandma. Oh, so fast.
So quick. Too fast.
Who is she?
She is grandma.
Yes, grandma. And mommy? Oh, so good.
So fast.
Who is she?
She is mommy.
Alright, yes. And what's our last one? Who's missing?
Sister.
Oh, so smart. Where is sister?
Sister. 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 Sister.
Colin hid it. Where did Colin hide it?
Teacher.
Oh, that's not the sister.
That's not
That's not sister. Where did you put it?
Teacher, she's sister. She's my sister.
She's your sister?
Yeah, sister.
No, that's your sister.
Sister, my
Under the mats. Oh, you're tricky. You're so tricky. All right, who is she? She
is my baby sister.
All right, good job today.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Good job. All right, you want to put this goodbye song?
That's a good spot.
Alright, thank you. So, I've seen you do it before. So this is my second time seeing you do it, and I've seen some improvements. So I'm glad to see that. So good job. You've always been like really kind and caring. the kids, you have like a different energy. Like we just saw Colin's energy was like really up high, and you have more like a more like kind and caring energy with the kids. But that's good. You know, different teachers have different styles, and so that's good. For the target, when you were doing the target, or actually it ended up going throughout the whole lesson. It seemed a little bit unclear how the kids should respond when you're showing a card. Do they repeat after you? Do they all repeat? Does only one repeat? It wasn't really clear. So what you might want to do is sort of set up the parameter like Colin did, where if you show a card and it's the mom, you want maybe one kid to say it first and then everybody to say it. So she is mommy, she is mommy. And then we have that like sort of chant that everybody can get there. I think that might help sort of organize the class and give a kid some expectations of what they need to do. For the practice, you did a good job sort of demoing first yourself. No, this is how we're going to do it. Act it out like the mommy or whatever. And then having the students, then giving it over to the students and letting them do some more. But the same thing with that one. It wasn't clear who should answer or how many times they should repeat. So the person...
Yeah, I should have said raise your hand.
Yeah, do they have to raise their hand? Does everybody say it? Does one person say it? You know, you might want to have them all shout out at the same time. 1, 2, 3. She is my mommy, and we see if they can do it, or raise their hand, or, you know, so if they raise their hand, one person says it, and then everybody repeats after them. That would be a good way to do it. So like, raise your hand, she is my mommy, good job. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, she is my mommy, she is my mommy, and we can repeat 2 times. So if you set up those sort of parameters, almost like, for me, because it's my style, it's almost like I said, like Taekwondo or military, like, we like, chant after the teacher, we march after the teacher, like we get this sort of pattern and rhythm going so that they know what I expect them to do and what they should repeat. So one last thing, you did give high fives, but it was kind of sporadic. So another thing you might want to consider is what's the reward for getting it right first? Is it a high five? Is it points for a team? Can they be the next leader? Like whoever gets it first can be the next leader. That will sort of organize things, like so they know, you know, what's the goal? You know, what's the goal? I get it right first. Okay, I'm going to get a high five. It can give the kids a little bit extra motivation. Here, we're adults, so we don't need it. But kids sometimes might need a little carrot or something. Like, okay, this is why I'm answering first. And then another thing, we're adults, but even at the end when kids were sort of, we were sort of goofing off and grabbing the cards, and that's fine, we're having fun. Just sort of, I would have to recommend that that's one of the times when you can use your, attention, or one little finger, right, so that we can get the class back and organized. But overall, I think you did a good job, and I think the kids will like the class, and they'll have fun. Just make sure you get a little bit of that sort of Jill Sargent organization, and don't lose the language focus of having them repeat. All right. April?
Yeah, like Michael said, I have seen Neil in January, and this is end of May, and I have seen huge progress. You're much comfortable, you're much confident, and you're much better being with other fellow students. So I'm very happy to see that. You're not blushing. So that's a good sign. That's a very, very good sign. And he did, just using the flashcard, 3 activities. And first, he started only with the words. And the second activity, he let the kids answer in a sentence. And then third, he asked and then answer in a sentence, which I think was really, really smart for you to lay out your class that way. Start with the vocabulary, answer in sentence, and question and answer in sentence. When I went over the overview yesterday, I said for the level C, you're supposed to question and answer in sentence, but you cannot just do that right away. So I'm so happy that you gradually move your activities in that intensity. So I'm very happy that you very smartly put your class in that way. Okay? I mean, I have a bunch of compliments for you. You know, you can send out just only one thing. Even though it seemed very simple, the one thing that you kind of overlooked was to going over the concept of he and she.
Yeah.
And everything was fine. But then for kids, he and she, even non-native speakers, even
They mess up all the
adults.
time.
Right, so if you can just, you know, since you have a group of different gender of students there, you can just put out that, you know, Amy and Emily are she, and Colin and Jason are he, and I am he, or, you know, if you can just do that, it'll be much clearer for kids to say he is and she is, okay? Otherwise, I'm very happy and I'm very proud of you, Neil. And so next time I come in August, I'll see better progress in you. Thank you so much.
Again, I think they covered everything, so you know, definitely I can tell that you're much more comfortable and you're doing a great job with the kids, which is positive. So I'll just, you know, there are a lot of positives, but I'll just go to a little bit of advice I'm going to give you. It's really good you had the students helping you, like I mentioned, for Colin. But you notice they were kind of goofing off and hiding in and taking a place where you couldn't find them. So that would be before you introduce the activity, that's what, like Mike suggested, right? Set some ground rules. For example, here is okay, here, no, right? So that they know, and that way we won't maybe, you know, we won't spend time actually looking for it if the kid actually has it. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, it was a good flow. You definitely have a good tone for the kids. In your language, you were trying to keep it simple, which is good. So, good job.
All right, I guess I'm up.